Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is another crime thriller that I am reviewing for you, and it's called Their Resting Place by B.R. Spangler. It is the 8th book in the Detective Casey White series. I didn't read book 1, but I picked up on book number 2, and it looks like I have read all of them other than the first book. Now, in this particular book, I want to go back to book number 7. Give me a second here. In book number 7, Taken Before Dawn, which I believe I have reviewed right here on this channel, Casey learned something that was going to change her life forever. And this is something that led her to where she's working as a detective in the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Now, when we get to their resting place, which is book 8, Casey, her daughter Tracy, her daughter's partner Nichelle, and Casey's soon-to-be husband Jericho are all moving. Why are they moving? They're moving because Nichelle just got her badge as an FBI agent, and Casey's daughter Tracy is Michelle's partner, and Nichelle, beginning with the letter N, and she's following Nichelle for Nichelle's new job. Now, if you read books 7, but also book 6, you start to realize what the connection is between Casey and Tracy. And when you know of that connection between Casey and Tracy, you'll understand why Casey has decided to follow Nichelle and Tracy when they move. And by extension, Jericho, who has recently become engaged to Casey, is also moving. I hope I didn't confuse you. I'm not trying to do that, because each of these books in these Bookature crime thriller series can be read as a standalone. They can. But the drama that exists in the lives of these characters, and most notably Casey, Jericho, and Tracy. Yes, there's Nichelle, but those three, Casey, Jericho, and Tracy. Those lives, those backstories are given credence and really come full circle if you read each book in the series. That's just my advice to you. But let's talk about the series. Now, I'm not even going to use my iPad. It's like 1 week before they all move, right? And they get a knock on the door, and it's a cop named Emmanuel. I can't think of Emmanuel's last name because I'm not looking down at my iPad. And he's devastated, in tears. And he's, I think, former NFL. He's a huge guy. And he's broken down in tears. And he tells Casey and Jericho that his niece was murdered. Now they're packing up to move out of the state, away from the Outer Banks. But they stop everything to investigate the murder of Emmanuel's niece. Okay. So I've given you a little bit of a backstory, and I'm giving you what is going to be their last case right there, right? But there's the other story, and it's the big story. The big story is there was a group of junior and senior high school kids who were on an archery team years ago. Okay? They were on this archery team. In fact, they decided to name themselves the Sunflower Girls. The Sunflower Girls. That is, to me, I would have named the book The Sunflower Girls, but that's just me. Okay? Because the name of their team had everything to do with the other events that took place in the story. So, if we look at these girls when they were kids, they had a coach, Benjamin Pelto, I'm not using notes, so if the name is wrong, forgive me. He abused these girls. Yes, he was a predator to the girls that he was coaching on the archery team. Palto goes to jail. Now it's years later, and a girl is killed. Fast forward, another girl is killed. Remember I said the Sunflower Girls? Well, Casey and Jericho and Tracy and Michelle and anybody else that's investigating starts to make the connection between Palto, these girls, and that archery team back when they were in school. But now Palto's out on probation or parole. I think he's on parole, not probation. He's out on parole. And he swears up and down he had nothing to do with the murders. And then there's something different about these murders. In fact, when the medical examiner starts to look at the bodies, the very first body, in fact, they're trying to find the entrance and exit wounds of the victim. And then they're looking for evidence in the field where the body was discovered. And there's some huge inconsistencies with the wounds that the victim sustained and the possible method that was used to kill the young woman. And that factors in to the whole story, factors in to the discoveries that they made when it came to identifying what it was that killed that first victim and then that second victim. And then there's also something that connects them that Casey was able to unearth. Meanwhile, we have Emmanuel. He is devastated. His niece was on this archery team. His niece is one of the victims. Okay? So I love the fact that, I think this is B.R. Spangler. Yeah. I love the fact that our author, what he does is he has a central drama, which is trying to identify who's killing these girls. But then he has other drama that's layered in, but it's layered in so smoothly that it works flawlessly. And we'll just review it again. We have Casey and Tracy. We have the fact that they're all moving. We have Emmanuel, who's devastated at the loss of his niece. We have the motive behind killing these girls. We have the question about the archery team that existed when they were in school and the fact that now their predator is out on parole. And then we have another story that gets blended into all of this, that pulls it all together. And that is what makes this book so shocking, so mind-blowing that, yeah, I'm going for 5 stars for this book. Yeah, I'm going to go 5 stars. And I don't think in this series that I've gone 5 stars. I think I probably have gone, let's find out. Looks like I've given this book 4 stars. But not this one. This one I'm going to go 5 stars. It's that compelling. It's that good. And yes, you can get this and all the previous books on your Kindle Unlimited subscription. And I definitely recommend you do that. Especially with the drama involving Casey and her daughter Tracy. And then the drama that exists between Casey and her fiance Jericho. And where things end in this book. I don't know why B.R. Spangler does it, but guess what? There's a cliffhanger. Yeah. You're fiending for, or you will be fiending for book number 9. I have to read the next book. Because the story's over. The story's ended. And then there's a paragraph right at the very end that makes you like, I gotta read the next book. But there you have it. Their Resting Place by B.R. Spangler. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.